Hey, it's been a while since I recorded anything. At least that's how it feels. And we are staying in Rishikesh right now, near the river. So I'm using a microphone and I'm trying to hold it like this so that my sound comes through better and clear. And I wanted to share a little bit about my experience of being here so far. Before we came to Rishikesh, we went to Haridwar and we visited an ashram of Indian saint. Her name was Anandamayi Ma. She's not in her body anymore, so to speak. And in a city close to Rishikesh, Haridwar, there is her ashram, her samadhi, where usually when a person is realized, self-realized or enlightened or whatever you want to call it, when they consciously merge their mind with the divine, and they kind of lay their body aside and they put this body in the tomb, and basically this place is available for everyone to visit so that they can receive the blessing of this presence of the divine, basically presence of this person or the mind or the light, whatever you want to call. And because I received the experience of Anandamayi Ma calling me to come to India, and I didn't know anything about her before, and I'm finding out about her more and more now. And we went to this ashram, and it's been so deep and transformative. Just the first week of being in India, I was thinking, what else is gonna happen if this is what is happening the first week? And there have been many miracles in terms of encounters that we had and people that we met, to really see that Jesus is behind everything and he's in control and he's directing the whole experience. But I've been so touched by, we would go to this ashram where her samadhi is, and we would meditate several hours a day because we didn't have any other purpose of being there other than just to be with her and with her presence. And at the beginning I had all these thoughts, like I was like, okay, here I am, what do you want, basically? You called me here and I am here. But her presence was so strong, and it was like a flood of just grace, hard to describe. Sometimes it felt like ecstasy, just sweeping you away, your mind away. And I felt like she was drawing my mind towards God, and it was so uncompromising. She was so uncompromising that she didn't allow me to hold on to any thought, even any questions. Like it would just dissolve because she would just suck my mind towards God, and almost like her saying, like, nothing else matters, you are here, and with that which you are seeking through asking questions is right here and right now, and you don't have to ask this question, just be now with God and nothing else matters. And if I was soft enough that my mind would automatically rise with her and join her, or it's not even personal joining her or anything separate, but it felt like just rising into my mind, into this desire for God, and desire to merge, and desire to love, and not to think about anything else. So it was a profound experience of emptying my mind completely, and letting go of the past, and letting go of the future, and just like that was like what she did to me, like the training me to just be with God now, and nothing else matters. And I remember the first day felt very ecstatic almost, or I don't know, it was like an ecstasy, and it felt very emotional as well. It felt like coming home into this presence. And somehow every time we went there, that was just would come over my mind, and I felt very, very touched by her. And it was just being in this silence and in this deep, deep devotion, because it is actually natural for our mind to want that, to desire that, to experience this devotion. It is natural, it is within us, devotion to God. And it's not the way the ego interprets devotion. It's something so divine, so pure, so graceful, so natural. And I think that was the place where that seems to be allowed the most, because that's the only reason, that the only intention behind that place, for our mind to allow itself to experience, to go into this natural flow of mind. And it was such a huge contrast, because there was this place where that was allowed for my mind to flow naturally in this direction, and lay aside all the doubts and whatever is usually on our mind, whatever is stopping us from this natural flow, to let everything go and just feel like the only thing we want is God. And then we would come out of the ashram, and there would be almost like the complete opposite. There would be this huge like noise of the traffic, and constant movement of the traffic, and constant movement of people and animals. And it was like I could see like it was like a huge contrast of these two worlds that were so heightened in my mind. And the reason I always felt touched by India was that it was symbolizing to me this deep devotion, allowance of devotion, how natural it feels here to be devoted. You have full allowance, full permission, especially when you step into the ashram. And then you come out of that space, and there is so much movement and so much happening. And it's at the beginning it seemed like there were two worlds. And I wouldn't say that I was very overwhelmed, but there were moments when it was so crowded. But then all of a sudden I realized I'm not here to be with her presence, or with this pure presence only when I'm in the ashram. I'm actually to be in this presence when I leave the ashram, when I am in the ashram, when I am wherever we are staying, where I am in the taxi or whatever. It's always to be with this presence, and my mind first to be focused on that. And then when we focus our mind on that presence, which is in us, this purity, then almost like all this noise and all these colors and all these things that seemingly attract our attention and draw our attention constantly, all those things move into the background. And you feel like there is this beautiful blessing of light around you. And that is what is the most important thing. That is what you need to keep your attention on, and everything else of this world is secondary, and nothing else actually matters. And that is, I think, the message of this deep love and devotion, and really to observe that devotion, because every evening in the ashram at 6:30 they would start singing kirtan, like the songs, devotional songs, like in front of the altar. There were all these kids sitting, and they would just sing and sing and sing these devotional songs. And on the last day, my mind opened up so much. I was just crying and crying and crying, because I realized that the whole, the building, the place, the singing had nothing to do with any person, nothing to do with Anandamayi Ma's body or her name or anything. It was just a celebration of a state of mind, and celebration of my reality and our reality and the reality of everyone. And once I saw that, I could just cry and cry, and all the flowers, all the singing, all the devotion made all sense. Why would you not celebrate reality? And all the flowers were the symbol of that state of mind, open, beautiful state of mind that sees nothing but love and that sees nothing but beauty. And like sometimes we may have resistance to the idea of a guru or this teacher or whatever, but it has nothing to do with that. It's just such a deep devotion. And I was remembering the lesson, I choose the second place to gain the first. So our control and our self-obsession has to dissolve in that devotion. And that's what that experience of being in that ashram was symbolizing to me. Yes, we want to be humbled to the point that we are ready to merge with God. And that devotion and openness to this celebration was and is symbolizing that, coming to this profound humbleness and selflessness. And it was so touching to be in the environment where there is so much allowance, because when you travel through Europe, it's like, it's different. There is so much doubt around God, so much resistance, or so many obstacles built around the whole thing, around this desire that is actually so much us. And now you come to India and you have the full allowance to allow your mind to have that devotion and express it and cry and open your heart or have the resistance, but be there and fully be there, where it's natural to be devoted and for God to be celebrated. It's so profound and so touching. Like, it's truly life-changing and transformative and mind-changing. It's a huge blessing. It's very natural. It's a gift. And I hope that somehow you feel that allowance in this moment too. Just to tune into that part of your mind where devotion is home. Devotion is natural. Not living in this material world that is asking us for attention all the time and distracting us all the time. Do you want this or do you want that? It's a constant consumer state of mind. But on the contrary, to come to this place where you can rest, where being with God feels so natural and not forced upon, but natural and given. So I feel really grateful for this call to come and for this deep divine experience. And I extend and share it with you if you are willing to accept it and to hear it and to feel it fully, to be changed by your own devotion that is in you and not in anyone else, and to be changed by the willingness to be humble and to be the second, so that the God can be known as first and only one. Many, many blessings.